Christian, why is the word PropTech such a dirty word, especially to estate and letting agents?
So, I think the term PropTech has sort of, in many ways, got a bit corrupted. I think you've had a lot of onliners and disruptors. Again, another word that sort of gives me a bit of a nervous twitch. But I think we've seen a lot of tech-driven companies come into the property sector, promising a lot to consumers, often very derogative about our industry. And I think, and rightfully and understandably so, I think a lot of our industry, due to that message, that predominant message, have, much like the label, lumped everything into one basket. And it's the second that phrase is mentioned.
Yeah, it's almost your eyes roll in the back of your head.
Oh, it's like, oh, geez, yeah, here's another product that we don't need. Here's another problem that we never had. Is another expenditure I've got to add to my burgeoning bill. And I think, look, catchphrases come out for all sorts of things, and they have different levels of success. But I think PropTech, it's a great word to use if you are the tech business yourself looking for funding. Great. I think if you don't have it in there, you could cause yourself problems. But I think when it comes to selling products to agents, I know, talking to a lot of agents, when they get pitch products, like one of the most common criticisms, complaints, whatever you want to call it, that they have is that they don't, they see what the platform does, but they don't really get what they're getting out of it. What is their key benefit? Are they going to make more money? Are they going to save more time? Are their staff going to, whatever it is? I think, PropTech is the start of it. And then, through that, you've got a lot of technical terminology that gets thrown around by these companies. But actually, in terms of really promoting the benefits of a product, it comes down to very layman terms and layman objects.
How could the PropTech industry get that message across better?
I mean, I think it starts partially from an institutional basis. We were actually having a little bit of an interesting little debate in a PropTech WhatsApp group the other day, and there was an article posted on Unisu, the new sort of PropTech propagator, or whatever you want to call it, database, where a guy had sort of written an article saying, the top 3 things that PropTech companies want, and one of the 3 things in there was they want property businesses to be sort of more welcoming, more flexible in adopting products.
Hold on a second. The people who are providing a service want their customer to be more open and flexible.
Exactly. Basically, the premise of the article was you need to work harder to get us, which triggered quite, as you can imagine, quite an emotive response from several of us in the group, who all have a similar viewpoint that tech absolutely has a place in our industry and can absolutely create some phenomenal changes. And I don't think there's any aspect of life where you can argue that tech doesn't have some role to play. But I think in our industry, there is a huge amount of benefit that it can bring to consumer and businesses. But I think maybe arrogance is the wrong word, but there's a lot of people who have an experience within the property world and go, this is ridiculous. It shouldn't work like this. I'm going to go off and build a PropTech solution that solves this whole problem, takes the agent out the equation, blah, 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 or whatever it is. But they then go about building that entire business without coming out of that tiny little micro bubble of their own personal little world. They have no industry knowledge, no industry experience. They also, just in terms, obviously that's operational. When you then look at it as a sector, most of them don't grasp the fact. They think, like in a lot of business, oh, great, I'll get this and I'll sell it to the corporates and I'll take on half the UK market with 5 corporate brands and la-di-da, I'll make myself a multimillionaire in 5 years' time. And I think a lot of them don't understand that, 80% of our marketplace is 1 to 2 branch agencies. And so that dichotomy, that contrast between how you pitch to a corporate and how you sell your product to a single branch agency, and also, the challenges that come with that. I think you walk through the door with a corporate, you've got to understand that at the very best, that's a few weeks, if not several months to a year plus, for
I think you're being
corporate.
optimistic at a year.
Yeah, for a corporate to adopt you into their business. But again, the challenges and the issues that they face are going to be very, very different to a single branch who can, if they want, literally choose to pick up your product on that day. But then again, the rewards and the challenges and are different with that as well. And
because one of the beefs I have about the PropTech industry is that, let's be honest, you've got estate agents that have letting agent departments, and then you have letting agents that just stand alone. You tend to find that estate agents normally have a lettings department, but not lettings have an estate agency department. Because of the way people think and act and operate. And the point is that the biggest one of the beef I have with PropTech is that the PropTech marketing is atrocious, which comes back to what you were saying, Christian. Is letting agents think and act completely differently to estate agents.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think also
the way you market them, communicate them, get them to buy it.
Yeah, and I think some of the mistakes some of the PropTech companies are making is I think they're looking at successful tech businesses in other sectors,
fintech,
whether that be monsters like your Facebooks or whatever, or breakout things like Uber, whatever it is. And then if you look at those companies and you look at their sort of brand message, the visual brand identity, and then you come across to some of the PropTech products that are being launched now to sell to agents, and actually how they market themselves is very, very similar. But that's very, very strange because the tech monsters that they're modeling themselves on are direct-to-consumer businesses almost always.
Yes.
And selling to a business is radically different. And again, actually, yes, it's beautiful to have this gorgeous, refined website that has all the latest knobs and whistles with visual design and everything else. But actually, sometimes, particularly if you're selling a product that delivers practical efficiency rather than something flowery that is going to be upsold, actually that's a distraction. An agent doesn't want it to look all pretty. They actually just want something a little bit more, these are the 10 reasons why you should be using our platform and the benefits that you'll get from it.
Maybe we could talk about that a little bit further in the next video.
Yeah. Chris?